Hello, madam. In this video, we will talk about if you should get a girlfriend in the Philippines. I know it sounds rather silly to ask this question, but we will dive deeply into this topic. First, press the subscribe button, press the like button, so we can please the YouTube algorithm overlords. It's one thing to say you want to come to the Philippines for the cost of living, but we all know that you're just lying to yourself. If it were for cost of living, you'd travel to countries closer to your home country, whether in North America or Europe. Let's be honest. As we've discussed before, the main reason why men come to the Philippines is for the women. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, but do not fool yourself or others, and you must be prepared to deal with the reality of the Pinoy land. A person by the name of Brett on Facebook says, "So, I mostly want to be an expat due to cost of living in the Philippines, but is getting a girlfriend there a good idea? I skimmed a few posts and I frequently see something along the lines of, my girlfriend helped me with X. Edit. I mean, stuff like, I believe, skin tax and maneuvering around the cultural stuff. One misconception is that if you come here and get a girlfriend, that she will help you with anything. The majority of women here are completely useless. They are uneducated and unexperienced. They've never traveled to anywhere, have done anything by themselves, and are complete morons and idiots if you want to put it that way. I don't, but you can if you want. They're completely useless. Women here cannot do anything by themselves. Simple tasks, they look for you to help them or just do it for them. I remember one time I went to a separate island and I was quoted a very high number for the tricycle. I looked over to the companion I was with and she was clueless. She could not understand why I just not paid the man. It ended up it was only 10% of what the man was asking for as I negotiated with the next tricycle driver. From that moment, I did not rely on anything for these women. Essentially, they just want your money. They don't want to help you with anything. If you find a decent woman close to your age with a bunch of kids that needs your money, then yes, maybe she'll be somewhat useful to you. But if you have this idea that you can come to the Philippines, find a gorgeous girl to be your girlfriend or wife, and she's going to love you because she loves maturity, or that she likes a traditional man that is 50 years older than her, then you are simply lying to yourselves and to others. Let's take a look at what others had to say regarding this person's comment. Lane Garcia says, I feel terribly bad Filipinos being painted as gold diggers, but not everyone is like that. Some gets the wrong girl, some not, and that's reality everywhere you go. That happens. I believe that there are still higher ratio of Filipino girls who loves and cares of their expat husbands sincerely and deeply, not because of only their money. I feel terribly sorry for those unfortunate one, but it is truly unfair and underestimating when we paint like all of us. Some people care too much, and I think it's called love. Yes, it's called love and it's called bullshit. This is all just to save face. Perhaps she is talking to a foreigner or has a foreigner. Although there may be a handful of people, exactly as she describes, the majority of people that are interested in expats that are significantly older than them, that are retired, that are coming to the Philippines, that are staying here long term, definitely do not love you the way most would have you believe. Perhaps that love will grow at some stage during your relationship, but the reality is, during that time, you will lose your soul. You will lose the person you are, and you'll slowly get drained away. The only workaround that is to be fully prepared, fully aware, and expecting that you will be paying 2 or 3 times more than your cost of living and your budget that initially you had in mind, because little things like birthdays or weddings, parties, graduations, you name it, it will happen and you are expected to pay. Patrick says, if you need someone advice about getting a girlfriend, maybe you are not ready to go live somewhere you have no idea what you're in for. Can you get a girlfriend in the States? That's also correct. Anyone asking should I get a girlfriend does not deserve one and will easily be taken advantage of, especially in a place like the Pinoy land. Ed says, just need to pick the right girl. When I came to the Philippines in 2018, I dated a few different, maybe more than a few, haha. But point is, most are decent and won't ask money. They just looking good partner, but obviously, like any country, you have your scammer or gold diggers. I've been with the same girl since the end of December 2019 and no issue. My best friend was a female, and God rest her soul, but when she was alive, also never asked money. Just enjoy and don't rush a relationship. Philippines is a great country with respectful people. Good luck. I'm curious about this person. And yes, it seemed like this man is a senior, handsome, white man, but I'm not quite certain the type of women. Well, I see it now. Looks like he is sticking to someone at least in her 40s, perhaps 50s. Maybe that's why he has better luck with women. Frank also says, let's change the perspective. Old guys are coming to the Philippines looking for young girls, for whatever reason, because they cannot get the same in their home country. We know, us old, not so good looking, and maybe overweight gentlemen, haha, will only attract a young woman if we are rich. At least here you can go in knowing that one of the reasons Filipina will consider us is our ability to provide. Nothing wrong with that, and nothing wrong with wanting a younger woman. The women here are kind and loving to us old wrecks. But here lies the rub, distinguishing between the diamonds and the custom jewelry. We guys are guilty of thinking with our little heads all the time. Take your time and date. Don't move in together and look for the handout all the time, because it will only get worse once you move in or get married. My 2 centavos. That is a very good piece of advice. This man practically said everything that I've been saying. As long as you know what you are in for, and even then, they will still scam you and rip you off years down the road when you least expect it. I have heard horror stories of men being in a relationship for multiple years before they've had the rug pulled from underneath them. These things should not be nothing new to you. You must have heard most of these comments at some point before. The difference is, will you take that advice, or will you just believe what you want to believe, live in a fantasy land, and think that somehow women in the Philippines are different? For those of you that want to say, well, all women are like this in the world. Yes, they are. And that is the point of this channel. That's the point of this video. That it's not always rainbows, sunshines, and butterflies, that there's a dark side to the Philippines, that there are things that not every other vlogger and YouTuber likes to tell you. Just a reminder, the reason why they tell you all the positive things is because positivity draws views, and views equals money. Don't ever forget that. Now, it's time to take a look at yesterday's best and worst comments. Yesterday's best comment comes from Michael Fortenberry. The problem is that once you sleep with them, you can't get rid of them. You haven't seen a stalker until you've been in the Philippines. In which I replied, man up, tell them you got shit to do. There's no need to be polite to these women who want to leech off of you. That is the reason why they stick around. It's not because they want to show you love and hang out with you, watch movies in bed, read books, or go to the parks, hold hands, make you a meal. No, 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 sir. It's because they want that air-conditioned room in a nice condo with a pool, perhaps a gym. They want the Starbucks coffee in the afternoon so they can take a photo of it in front of it and show their friends. They want the dinner they don't usually get. So no, it's not because you are a handsome man and they want to spend time with you. Simply tell them to leave. You have shit to do. There are many other comments on here supporting what I just said. Let's read yesterday's worst comment. The worst comment is from G-Man. That's a damn lie, and also disrespectful to Filipino women. Discontent is certainly coming from a Caucasian, whether from the West or some cave, very poor content. This person must be new to the channel. In which I replied, facts don't care about your feelings. And then he threatens me by saying, I don't care about facts, but I bet you'll care about these rounds. Yes, typical black man always resorting to violence. Although, I don't want to stereotype, but they do behave a certain way, don't they? And if you're black watching this, you should call out your brothers on the way they behave, so we don't judge and stereotype them the way we do in the Pinoy land. Because once a group of people start behaving a certain way, then it's right to call their actions as they are. Thanks for watching. God bless.